Good morning. This is story tip number 5. It's good to start off your stories with a little relevance statement so people can understand whether this story is going to be, important to them, something that they can use. This is really important in business because we judge our stories by two mechanisms, really, by two criteria. First of all, is this going to be relevant? The second one is it plausible? Okay, these are the two factors. So you have to hit the sort of relevance nail on the head so people can hear your story. So for example, one of the things that we like to say in anecdote is that small things can make a big difference. So in this case, this is an example where, that one of those small interventions can make a big difference. In the Iraq War, there was a US Army major who noticed that riots often happened after people started to gather in the plaza. They would gather, build up, more and more people would gather in a plaza, then there'd be some trigger, someone would throw a rock, there would be some violence, bang, next thing you know you have riots. Now this US Army major had a great idea. He went to the mayor. He said to the mayor of Kufar, and he said, Mr. Mayor, is it possible to keep the food vendors out of the plazas when we see a build-up of people coming into a plaza? Mayor says, yeah, no problems. Well, next time they see this build-up happening, they made sure all of the food vendors were dissipated out of the plaza. Well, as people are hanging around towards the end of the day, they start to get a bit hungry, and instead of keep building and building, they go home to eat. No riot. See, small things can actually make an incredibly big difference. Now you'll sort of see there, at the beginning of the story, you create your relevance statement, you tell the story, and in fact that one was from The Power of Habits by Mr. Duguid, and then you can finish your story by repeating that key point that you made, so that people walk away with not only their own meaning of a story, which is very important, but also with the key point that you're trying to make in terms of relevance. Now that's a great little story. Those types of stories are great when people are trying to come up with these big sort of programs to make massive changes in organisations, and you can sort of say, hey, hang on there, maybe we can do a range of small things that can make a big difference. Let me give you an example. Bang, you tell the US Army story. Now these stories are everywhere, right? And that might be a subject for another little tip that I'll give you in an upcoming video session. So take that, relevant statements, have some good storytelling out there.